Hello, demigods, monsters, and gods alike. This is the Olympus Report. Being a hero can be rewarding and exciting, but it can also be tragic. Sometimes heroes need to make sacrifices for the sake of others or for the greater good. Here are my top 5 greatest sacrifices in the Percy Jackson universe. Number 5, Ganila. From the novel Magnus Chase and the Sword of Summer, Ganila was a Valkyrie as well as a warrior for the god Odin. She's at odds with Magnus for most of the novel and was even sent to capture him. However, at the climax of the novel, when the fire giants attack, she decides to finally trust Magnus and fight on his side. She holds off the fire giants and buys Magnus enough time so he can rebind Fenris Wolf. Fortunately, she's able to buy them enough time so they can succeed on their quest. Unfortunately, she tragically loses her life, as well as 2 other Valkyries, to the fire giant Surt. Without her sacrifice, the ending to this book would have been very different. Number 4, Zoe Nightshade. This old-fashioned lieutenant of Artemis was introduced in the 3rd Percy Jackson novel, The Titan's Curse. While originally coming off as a little cold and a little rough, by the end of the book, she warmed the hearts of all the readers. Zoe was the daughter of the Titan Atlas, the main antagonist in said novel, The Titan's Curse. She was rejected by her family after she fell in love with Hercules and helped him steal a golden apple from her father's garden. She eventually found new family in the Hunters of Artemis and eventually the demigods of Camp Half-Blood. Zoe lost her life in the same novel she was introduced after a deadly battle with her father, Atlas. It was thanks to her sacrifice that our heroes were able to succeed on their quest in saving the goddess Artemis and Annabeth Chase. To honor her sacrifice, the goddess Artemis turns her into a star constellation, so she will forever burn bright. Number 3, Bob and Damason. Who would have ever thought that I'd cry over a Titan and a giant? The former Titan, Iapetus, renamed Bob by Percy himself, and the anti-Ares giant Damason are the only reason Percy and Annabeth made it out of Tartarus alive. Bob not only guided Percy and Annabeth through Tartarus, but saved them from monster attacks throughout their journey. Just when they think they were going to finally get out of Tartarus and they reach the doors of death, they soon realized that someone had to stay behind and hold the up button on the elevator for 12 minutes. All seemed hopeless when they were surrounded by hundreds of monsters and the god Tartarus himself. But Damason showed up to save the day. Damason was able to fend off the monsters and his father Tartarus, while Bob offered to hold the button for 12 minutes. Percy knew this would kill them, but there was no other option. Now I know what you're thinking. They're a Titan and a giant. If they die, they can just be reborn in Tartarus. But no monster had ever died in Tartarus before, and it's very likely that if you do, you're just gone forever. But thanks to their noble sacrifice, our heroes were able to return to the mortal world and continue their fight against Gia. Number 2, Luke Castellan. Now, Luke made many mistakes throughout the 5 Percy Jackson books and was ultimately responsible for the rise of Kronos. However, without Luke, Kronos would have won and defeated the gods. With Luke being able to hold off Kronos long enough for him to take control of his body, and Percy putting trust in his former friend, both of them were able to kill the Titan Lord. But with Kronos being in Luke's body, this meant Luke had to die too. Why does redemption always have to end in death? At least he died a hero. Number 1. Jason Grace. Why? Why would they do this to me? I have not been this distraught since Finnick Odair died. Hashtag Jason deserved better. But despite how I feel and how upset I was, Jason's sacrifice was a necessary one. Jason lost his life in the third book in the Trials of Apollo series, The Burning Maze, in a battle with the Emperor Caligula. Jason was able to distract and hold back the Emperor long enough for Piper, Meg, and Apollo to escape. However, this means he got a spear through the back. Without his sacrifice, not only would Apollo, Meg, and Piper have died, but they wouldn't have been able to complete their quest, which ultimately saved Camp Jupiter. Jason bravely sacrificed his life in exchange for many others, and also gave Apollo a new outlook on life and mortals in general, changing him for the better. Jason rightfully takes the number 1 spot. Well, that's my thoughts on what I thought the greatest sacrifices were in the Percy Jackson universe. Let me know which ones had you crying the most. And until next time, demigods, stay safe.